So that is why the Shastras give the example of animals. In animal kingdom, they are not working hard for their maintenance, for eating, sleeping, mating and defending, but still it is being arranged. The point is, if in the human form of life, see, says in the Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? Krishna says, Na jatu tishtatya karma krit. Not even a second a living entity can remain idle. One of the symptoms of a living entity is he has to do some activity or the other. Either he'll be thinking or he'll be talking, he'll be doing something with his hands, something he has to do. He cannot sit idly. If nothing is there, he will sleep. Even sleeping is an activity. Something or the other he has to keep doing. Now, in the human form of life, that activity has to be engaged for a higher purpose of understanding one's true position as a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and going back to Godhead. Therefore, what kind of activity one can engage in the human form of life is given in the Vedas. According to the Varnashrama system, what are the duties one has to perform? What are the kind of yajnas one has to do? One's livelihood is a different matter. According to the Varna, everybody has a livelihood. Vaishya will engage in economic activity, Kshatriya will engage in political activity, Shudra will engage in service. By that they will have their livelihood. So engaging only in livelihood is not called performance of your duty. Livelihood is for maintaining your body and soul together. Until you come to the point of developing confidence that Krishna is my soul maintainer, until one comes to that point where one is firmly convinced that Krishna is the person who is maintaining me, one has various kinds of livelihoods one can engage in. Because Krishna also does not forcibly engage one in his service. If you have full confidence that I will maintain you, then you come and surrender to me. That is Krishna's direction. If you are not fully surrendered to me, you want to make your own arrangement, okay, according to your Varna, there are certain livelihoods you can engage in, you engage in that. But don't be engaged only in that. At least some little bit of yajna you do, dana you do, tapasya you do, yajna, dana, tapakriya. These things are compulsory for all Varnas and Ashramas. You engage, you do your livelihood, at the same time you do some dana, you do some tapasya, and you do some yajnas also. By this, gradually we will realize that the supremacy of Lord Vishnu and how, even though I am doing all my activities for my livelihood, ultimately, unless Krishna sanctions, all those activities of my livelihood also will not be successful. So it is actually Krishna only who is maintaining me ultimately. Gradually one will come to that understanding. So all these activities in the Vedic civilization were centered around gradually promoting us, gradually directing our activities towards Vishnu, and ultimately bringing us to the point of fully surrendering unto Vishnu. If one fully surrenders unto Vishnu, then there is no requirement for us to engage in any other activity specifically for our livelihood. Krishna will maintain us himself. Just like you look at all of us, what are we doing? Are we going to office? Are we earning money? We are doing none of those things. We are engaged in, okay, this is my assigned service. I have to do, somebody is doing pujari service, somebody is doing cooking service, somebody is doing preaching service, somebody is doing kirtan, somebody is doing something else. We are all doing our assigned duty. And all of us are being maintained by Krishna. So without engaging in a material activity, Krishna is maintaining us. So we can understand from this that to be for our livelihood, it is not necessary that we have to work, that we have to have a source of income, that we have to have a job for our livelihood. It is actually not necessary. Because if Krishna is maintaining an elephant in the forest who eats about 700-800 kg of food every day, if Krishna can maintain him without his having to go to office and have a plan for his economic activity, then how much we will eat? One time we will eat some 100 grams of some grains, that's all. 100-150 grams of grains. We cannot eat even 1 kg of food at one time. Whereas elephant is eating 800 kgs. So if Krishna can provide 800 kgs, is it difficult for him to provide 1 kg for his devotee? Forget about 1 kg. We are not even eating 1 kg. 300 grams, 400 grams we are eating. So is that some difficult thing for Krishna? Krishna will maintain. But provided we have the conviction. If you don't have the conviction, then you have to engage in some activity for your livelihood, and according to your karma, you will get maintained. So you will be maintained either according to the laws of karma or by Vishnu himself directly. The choice is ours. So my livelihood or my activity is not actually what is maintaining me. It is my law of karma. Otherwise, everybody is working hard in this material world. Even the coolie in the street is also working hard. He is actually the working hardest of all people. So simply by his working hard, he is not going to become Ambani or Birla. There is only one person who is an Ambani, one person who is an Adani. Not everybody can become like that. Although everybody is working hard, everybody is desiring, I should also become like Ambani, I should also become like Birla, I should also become like Adani. But not everybody can become. Only one person can become. So that itself shows my effort is not what is actually maintaining me. My previous karma, that gives results according to my effort. I put my effort according to my previous karma, that result will come and that will maintain me. So this is how when we look at life, we understand that some people work so hard, but they'll meet with only failure in life. Some people will put some minimal effort and that will give disproportionate results. By this we can understand that it is actually not just my effort alone which is maintaining me. Something beyond that is also there. In the case of non-devotees, it is the law of karma, and in the case of devotees, it is Krishna who is maintaining us. Ultimately, even the law of karma is acting according to the direction of Krishna. Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. So ultimately, everybody is being maintained by Krishna only. The only point is, for some, Krishna is directly maintaining. For some people, Krishna is indirectly maintaining through the law of karma and the laws of material nature.